Welcome back to botany class. Last video we discussed two important experiments. One is transforming principle, which was given by Frederick Griffith, and another experiment is biochemical characterization of transforming principle, which is given by Oswald Avery, Colin MacLeod and Maclean McCarthy, right? But transforming from principles, he conducted experiment. Frederick Griffith, he conducted experiment using Streptococcus pneumoniae. But he does not concluded that DNA is a genetic material. But biochemical characterization, the experiment conducted by Avery, Colin and McCarthy. So from this experiment, they concluded and they are given that DNA is the transforming substance in Frederick Griffith experiment, right? And in this video, we are going to see another one experiment. This is the experimental evidence for the DNA as a genetic material. Okay, actually this experiment is an unequal proof of DNA as the genetic material. That experiment name is simply you can call it as Horsey and Chase experiment. Horsey and Chase experiment. Who has conducted this particular experiment? There are two scientists. One is Alfred Horsey. The scientist name is called Alfred Horsey. And another scientist name is called Martha Chase. Martha Chase. So these two scientists, when they conducted experiments in 1952, and this experiment, they conducted experiment using two important organisms. So one is virus and another organism is bacteria. So one is a virus, another one is a bacteria. The what type of virus they used for this experiment? T2 bacteriophage. So we know that. So bacteriophages are viruses that specifically infect the bacteria. But here they are given T2 bacteriophage. So this is a T2 bacteriophage specifically infect the E. coli bacteria. So this T2 bacteriophage also called as coliphage also called as coliphage. The bacteria, what bacteria they used for this experiment? E. coli. So E. coli bacteria, and by using this bacteria they conducted a series of experiments. With the help of that experiment, they provided the experimental proof for DNA as a genetic material. So this experiment also called as Horsey and Chase experiment. Horsey and Chase experiment. There is a evidence. This is one of the experimental proof for, and also considered as a very important and also final experimental proof for DNA as a genetic material. Right? I will repeat one more time. The experiment name is the final and unequal proof that DNA is a genetic material is given from the experiment of Alfred Horsey, Martha Chase in 1952. They worked with virus and bacteria. With the help of that, they conducted experiment. So the virus, what virus they used? T2 bacteriophage. The virus name is T2 bacteriophage. So bacteriophage, we know that the virus that specifically infect the bacteria. So this particular T2 bacteriophage will specifically infect E. coli. So that the T2 bacteriophage also called as coliphage also. Actually, there are many different type of the bacteriophages are there like T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, T7. But the type of bacteriophage used by Alfred Horsey and Martha Chase is T2 bacteriophage. Don't forget this one. And the bacteria what they used E. coli bacteria for this experiment. So that this experiment also called as Horsey and Chase experiment, right? Horsey and Chase experiment. So this T2 bacteriophage that specifically infect the E. coli bacteria, and this particular virus they use as the E. coli as a host. With the help of that, they can multiply. They can infect and multiply within the E. coli bacteria. So that they used these two organisms for the experiment. So here the first we will talk about the T2 bacteriophage. T2 bacteriophage. So T2 bacteriophage. T2 bacteriophage. So we know that the bacteriophages are viruses that specifically infect only bacteria. But T2 bacteriophage they specifically infect only E. coli. So E. coli organism. So E. coli bacteria. So the T2 bacteriophage also called as coliphage also called as coliphage. So these are bacterial virus, they need the E. coli as a host. So because the particular bacteriophage that infect bacteria and they multiply inside the bacterial cells. And after multiplication, they will burst the E. coli cells and they will come out and again they will infect the another E. coli. Like this T2 bacteriophage is made up of DNA and protein coat. Okay, see here the T2. Here I am drawing the structure of T2 bacteriophage. So T2 bacteriophage. So the T2 bacteriophage made up of protein coat plus DNA. Protein coat and DNA. And here the protein coat is, okay, see here the protein coats are there, and also like there are different parts are there. This is a head part, so here neck will be there, and body parts is there, and tail part will be there. Tail part is there, but the protein is present inside the DNA. DNA is present inside the protein coat. Right? So because the protein coat which protect the genetic material, the DNA genetic material. So that they used this one. Okay, because why they used this particular bacteriophage now? So it is the most suitable material to determine whether DNA or protein that contain genetic information for the production of new virus particle, right? Because these bacteriophage, they infect the E. coli and then they can multiply inside the E. coli cells. Why they used this particular one? Because this particular virus made up of only protein and DNA. Protein coat is there and DNA is there. So that we are using this as a best material to determine whether DNA or protein contain necessary information for production of new virus particle. Because we got to know it whether, because we are having doubt whether protein acting as a genetic material or DNA acting as a genetic material. So that we have to confirm which one is genetic material. So that we are using this as a one of the material, best material to determine whether DNA or protein contain the necessary information for production of new viruses, right? So new viruses. And the function of DNA in this virus, okay, see here it's a DNA virus. This one is DNA virus because we know that there are some RNA viruses also there. So that we want to know it because scientists they are having confusion whether DNA is a genetic material or protein act as a genetic material. So that they selected the DNA viruses as the experimental organism for them, and with the help of them they conducted experiment, right? Are you clear with this? So this part is protein coat, and a protein coat which product the DNA molecule. Okay, so this virus is DNA viruses. Okay, so next the function of DNA and protein. How we can find out the function of this DNA protein? By labeling them with radioactive traces. So radioactive substances. So here we are going to use this particular T2 bacteriophage. We want to know what is the function of this protein and what is the function of this DNA molecule. Which one carry necessary information for production of new viruses. How we are going to find out? By labeling them with radioactive substances. Radioactive substances. The protein codes are labeled with S32, radioactive sulfur. Here the protein part of the virus is labeled with not S32, it's S35, radioactive sulfur 35, and the DNA part of the virus are labeled with P32. It's a radioactive phosphorus, right? So why we are labeling this protein and DNA with radioactive substance now? Because we want to know which one acting as a genetic material. To finding out which one contain necessary information for the new particle production, new virus particle production, we are labeling with S35 and P32, right? S35 and P32. S35 radioactive phosphorus, radioactive sulfur and radioactive phosphorus, right? And we know that the DNA contain, so we know that the essential atom, which the basic unit of DNA, we know that nucleotide. For take nucleotide, the essential atom which are present in this nucleotides are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and phosphorus. So that here phosphorus is the unique atom which are present in DNA and as well as RNA molecule. So that this DNA we are labeling with phosphorus 32 radioactive molecule, right? And protein part, if you take this protein part, the protein we know that the basic enough proteins are amino acids, and biomolecules we studied. The protein essentially contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur. So sulfur atom is found only in the protein, not in DNA. You keep it in mind. Sulfur is one of the essential atom. That atom is present only in the protein molecule, or amino acid and protein, not in DNA. But DNA contain only phosphorus, not sulfur, right? So that only the protein coat of that virus we are labeling with S35, radioactive sulfur S35, and DNA part of virus we are labeling with P32. So labeling with P32, because why we are labeling now? We want to know which one carry genetic information or which one responsible for production of new virus particle within E. coli. So that we are labeling this the protein with S35 and DNA with P32, right? So now how we are labeling means, for example, the page DNA. If you want to first I want to label the Phage DNA. So Phage DNA I want to label with P32. So for that what I am doing here, just I am preparing media, culture media that contain, so here I am preparing culture media. So this media contain phosphate 32. Just I am taking this phage and growing in media which contain, P32. So how we are going to label the phage DNA with P32 now? By growing this bacteriophage in media, culture media which contain phosphate PO4 32. So this is a radioactive substance, okay, radioactive form of phosphate. So when we are growing this one, what will happen is, when this bacteriophage multiply, that time during synthesis of DNA, so it uses, DNA synthesis, it uses P32, right? It uses P32. So that the P32 is incorporated into the Phage DNA. So, okay. So how we are labeling the Phage DNA with P32 now? We are taking this bacteriophage, T2 bacteriophage, the phage DNA, by growing this bacteria infected with phage, okay, the growing bacteria infected with phage in culture media contain PO4 phosphate 32. So when we are growing this bacteria that infected with the phage in media contain P32, so that during the virus particle multiplication, the uses this phosphate as a source for the synthesis of DNA molecule. So that the P32 is incorporated into the forged DNA. Forged DNA. Like this we are labeling, right? Similarly, the protein part of the, how we are labeling the forged with S35, na? How we are labeling S35, sulfur, radioactive sulfur 35. So how we are labeling in a protein code, na? Protein code. Just we are growing infected, growing bacteria infected with phage. So where we are growing na, and culture media which contain, or culture media incorporated with media contain SO4. So sulfate 35. So sulfate 35, if you are growing, what will happen is, so automatically the protein codes are labeled with this particular, because they want to multiply. That time they want to synthesis the protein code. During the synthesis of protein code, they uses this sulfate, okay, S35 from the culture media, so that the protein code of the particular virus particles are labeled with, so only this S35, okay. The newly synthesized bacteriophage, the protein code contain the radioactive sulfur. Similarly, the newly synthesized bacteriophage contain the DNA molecule contain phosphorus 32. Okay, see here, after growing in respective culture media, how the phage will look. Okay, you see here the phage which is labeled with radioactive isotopes. So radioactive isotopes. So here the DNA, okay, DNA is labeled here. So label, you can observe the radioactivity only here in DNA molecule, not in the phage. So DNA here will appear. But the E. coli bacteria infected phage which grow on S35 media, only the protein core part is which emits radiation, right? Protein core not in the DNA. So now, so both DNA as well as protein code separately, we are labeling separately. So by growing in different medias, okay, the media with labeled contain P32 and S35. After that, you can observe that phage look like this. Okay, in this phage, okay, see this phage produced using media phosphate 32. So that here during synthesis uses P32, so that the P32 is labeled only in DNA in this bacteriophage. But here you can see this bacteriophage grown using media S35. So S35, so that here the protein coat is labeled with radioactive isotope. Protein coat labeled with radioactive isotope, right? So after growth it look like this, right? So now the radioactive labeled phages are ready. So we have to carry out experiments. Actually, this is a Horse's chase experiment. The conducted experiment. The experiment involved 3 basic steps, right? I think up to this you are clear. Now we are going to see the detailed experiment, how they conducted, right? So the experiment conducted by Corsi and Chase involved 3 basic steps. 3 basic steps. First step is infection. So infection, nothing but the bacteriophages are allowed to infect with bacteria. First stage is infection. Second stage is blending. Third step is centrifugation. So basic steps. Centrifugation, right? So first step, now what we are doing is, so the both labeled type of bacteriophages. Actually we are having two set of bacteriophages. One set is labeled with radioactive. So the one set of bacteriophages, that DNA is labeled with radioactive phosphorus, right? Radioactive phosphorus. So this set is labeled with radioactive phosphorus, right? Radioactive phosphorus. So the DNA alone here labeled. Now another set is labeled with radioactive. So the protein coat is labeled with radioactive sulfur, right? Radioactive sulfur, but not DNA. So not DNA, okay? Here you can see the protein part. The protein part is labeled with S35, right? S35. But DNA is not labeled. Here this one is DNA. This particular part is protein. Protein part is here labeled. But in this set, the DNA is not labeled. But here you can see here, the DNA is labeled with. DNA labeled with P32, right? P32. But protein coat is not labeled here. Protein coat is not labeled. The first step of the experiment is the infection. So we are taking these two set of bacteriophage. These both type of the labeled bacteriophages were allowed to infect the normally cultured bacteria in separate experiment, right? So we are taking two separate experiment here. So just I am taking one culture media here, one culture media, and here one bacteriophage. The culture media, bacteria are growing in normal culture media. Here also another set, the bacteria, E. coli bacteria, which are grown in normal culture media. That is a very, very important. So now we are growing this bacteria. So normal culture media, right? Normal culture media, both are. So now what we are doing is this two set of, okay, this is a one set one, this is a set two. Both are allowed to infect the bacteria allowed to infect the bacteria which are grown in or which are cultured in normal medium. Okay, set A, set B. This is the first step, infection. So now what will happen is this bacteriophage automatically they can infect this particular E. coli. And this bacteriophage also infect the E. coli, right? Infect this particular E. coli set. Once it infect, so our next step is blending. So once infected, what will happen is, so with the help of the tail, so tail particle, or the tail particle, what will happen is they can attach the surface of the bacteria, and after attachment, they inject their DNA into the bacterial cells. Okay, this is a host bacteria. Already the host, this is a nucleus, bacterial nucleus. Nucleus is there. So this virus particle, so after infection, so once they attach with the bacteriophage, they can try to inject their DNA into the virus. So this is a viral DNA, right? Viral DNA. Here also, this one also inject it DNA, viral DNA. This one is viral DNA. Okay. So now infection is over. Just we are taking this two set of bacteriophage and we are incubating with the bacteria which grow in normal media. So normal media, and these bacteriophages are allowed to infect the E. coli. So that we got to incubate for some time. After once, for example, like maybe half an hour or 1 hour incubation period, you have to keep in separate experiments. Once infection the period is over, then what we have to do now, just you can see here, next step is blending. So in blending, what we are doing now, just these bacterial cells were agitated in blender Why we are giving because we are giving a vigorous shaking or vigorous blending. Why we are giving agitation or vigorous agitation to break the contact between virus and bacteria. Okay. So in infection stage, already it's infected. So now then we have to blend. We have to give the vigorous shaking or the agitation, so that we have to break this virus which contacted with the bacteria. Okay. So like we are breaking like this. Now we can separate this virus and the bacteria separately. Okay. You see already this virus during infection, it is injected its DNA into the host. But this one also, by blending we are separating, giving vigorous agitation we are separating. And now you can see already it's injected a DNA into the host. So the purpose of blending is, so because we got to break the contact between virus and bacteria. Now by giving vigorous shaking or vigorous continuous agitation, we have separated this virus from the bacteria, because you see only protein coat is there, because the genetic material already injected into the bacteria. Next we got to go for centrifugation. Third step is centrifugation, right? Third step is centrifugation. In centrifugation what we are doing is, because in blending step we separated the contact between virus and bacteria, even though they are present in only in single tube only. Okay, here like if you take this one, how it look now? So if you are taking single tube, so here some bacteria are there and a virus particle. All are present in single media. So all are present in single media only, right? So single media like this one is there. For next case here also, how to look now? So both are present in same media only, within single tube only they are present. But in blending process, we separated the contact between virus and bacteria. Okay, see these are all virus particle, bacteriophage, phage, and this one is bacteria. Like this, we are blending, we are separated. This one is phage and this one is bacteria, right? Bacteria we are separated. So next we got to separate this virus particle from the bacteria. How we are going to separate now? By centrifugation. By process of centrifugation we are going to separate. So by centrifugation, by how we are separating, for example, if the media is subjected for centrifugation, we can separate like this. So all the bacteria in the what will happen is they start to settle down. So start to settle down. Culture media subjected to centrifugation. Just we want to separate the virus particle from the bacteria by spinning them in a centrifuge. Just if you rotate fastly, what will happen is, because this single tube contains both bacteria and also virus particle. When applied centrifugal field, what will happen is, because comparing with the phage, the bacteria having the density of bacteria is more. So virus particle density is very less. So the bacterial cells, they start to settle at the bottom of the tube, bacterial cells. So the virus particle will they float on the medium. So float on the medium like this. So here, so they start to sediment at bottom. So these floating, okay, the only clear fluid will be there. Clear fluid, the virus particles are present. The clear fluid name is called, you can call it as supernatant. Supernatant. So, or supernatant, or you can say filtrate also, right? So they start to settle at the medium. So we are separating this one, supernatant we are getting, right? And here also like this. In this also like that we will get. So just I will draw the diagram also here. So another tube will get like this. Here, because here in the first experiment DNAs are present in E. coli. Okay, another tube also like this. So the bacteria, they start to settle at the bottom of the tube. So and they form clear supernatant. The clear supernatant contain virus particle. Like this we are separating, right? Now we are having two fraction. One is the bacterial cell fraction, one is there. Another one is the supernatant. Supernatant contain virus particle. But in these cases, okay, for example, you can see here. So we are having two like this. This is a bacterial cell fraction. Bacterial cells. This is a virus particle supernatant. Virus particle. And after separation, these samples were the bacterial cell centrifugation. After doing centrifugation, these particular cells are subjected for autoradiography because we want to know where radiations are there, where it's emitting the radioactivity. So that the separated bacterial cell fraction and supernatant subjected to the autoradiography. So in set A, so in this experiment set A here, where we are observing radioactivity. Now you can observe radioactivity only here. Here radioactivity is detected. But in this supernatant, no radioactivity is detected. No radioactivity is detected. But here in this set, another set, here radiation is detected. Radioactivity is detected here. But here no radioactivity. No radioactivity, right? So why here the radioactivity is detected here now? Because this set of virus particles are labeled with P32 so that the radioactive phosphorus is incorporated into the DNA. During infection stage, during infection, the DNA from the bacteriophage injected DNA into the host so that these bacterial cells contain viral DNA so that it giving radioactivity. So that here we are detecting radioactivity. So the virus particle, there is no radioactivity because which inject all the DNA into the bacterial cells. But here, why the radiation is detected in supernatant, which contain virus particle now? Because this set of bacteriophage are labeled with S35. So the S35 is incorporated in the protein coat. During infection, the virus, it inject only DNA, not protein coat. The protein coat found outside the cell only. So during blending, we are separated so that the virus particle, so it's showing or it emitting the radioactivity. The radioactivity is not found in the bacterial cell fraction, right? So here, you see, after centrifugation, we are getting two fraction. Listen clearly, two fraction. One is cell fraction, bacterial cells. So all the bacteria which are present in media, they start to settle at the bottom of the tube. Upper part will get clear supernatant. The clear supernatant contain virus particle in both cases, both set 1 and set 2. And these samples are subjected for autoradiography. For we got to know which fraction it's giving radioactivity. But in set A, in bacterial cell fraction, radioactivity is detected, but there is no radioactivity detected in virus particle because during infection stage, the virus infect the bacteria and injected DNA into the cells. So in set A here, this particular set of bacteria is labeled so that when during blending we are by agitation process we have separated the contact between virus and these bacteria. Because during infection, virus send only DNA, not to the protein coat. In set A, the protein coat is not labeled with any radioactive substances, so that no radioactivity is detected in this supernatant. but here the radioactivity is detected because these bacterial cells contain viral DNA. Set B, you can see here, set B, there is no radioactivity in bacterial cells, but radioactivity is detected in the virus particle. So why virus particle radioactivity detected? Because these bacteriophages are grown in media which contain S35 radioactive substance, sulfur 35. So that the sulfur 35 is incorporated only in protein coat, not in the DNA. During infection, this particular phage, it inject only the DNA which is not labeled with any radioactive. So that during blending process, we are giving, by agitation, we are separating the contact between virus and this bacteria. So that only here the filtrate, the supernatant, it's radioactivity is detected, but there is no radioactivity detected in the bacterial cells. Okay. So that from this experiment, the scientists, they concluded that, so it's a clear that, so DNA is a genetic material. So that the genetic, that's why it's passed from virus into the bacteria. So the genetic material is not protein. So because protein, so why it's sending DNA into the bacteria? Because they want to produce, after infection, they want to produce new virus particle. So if it is protein as a genetic, virus has to send protein into the bacterial cell, but it's not sending. It is injecting only DNA, not a protein. So that's why this experiment is unequal proof that DNA is the genetic material. So, and also it provided evidence that the protein is not a genetic material. Okay, this experiment name is called Horsey and Chase experiment, which is given by Alfred Horsey, Martha Chase in 1952, and they conducted experiment using T2 bacteriophage and E. coli bacteria. E. coli bacteria is unequal and also evidence that DNA is a genetic material. I hope that you clear with this experiment, and up to this I will end up this video, and we'll continue other topic in next video.